A very good evening to all of you, my dear kids. I am Manisha Das on behalf of eTuition family. Welcome you all to today's class. Let me remind you that our eTuition family is providing quality education for your better tomorrow. So don't forget to be a part of our family. Okay. So my dear class 10 student, this is the part 9 of our lesson life process. So today in this part we are going to discuss about transportation in plants. In the previous part, right, we have discussed about the blood vessels, right? So how transportation is occurring in humans. So in today's part we will look at how the same process transportation is working in plants. So let's move ahead to today's class. So what are the points we are going to discuss today? Look in this picture. See, the child is wondering how plants used to drink water, because they are living things, right? So they need food and water to live. So see, we have our hands and we get all the food items prepared by our mother. We get them from plants and animals. We prepare them and we eat them, and we have a proper system to digest all these things, and we have transport system which will help our body parts to get all these nutrients. But what happens in plants? How these plants get water and minerals? So the child is wondering. See, the plant is drinking water with the straw, but in actual plants do not have a straw like us. See, we used to drink water or cold drinks in straws, but plants do not eat like that. The child is thinking that how it will drink. Will it use a straw? So let us find out how the plants used to take water, minerals and food, whatever they are preparing, whatever the things they need to survive. Let's see. So in today's class we will be discussing about transportation in plants. What is diffusion? What are vascular system? There are two pathways of transportation, and root pressure, transpiration, translocation. Okay, there are certain terms you may be familiar with: diffusion, transpiration. So these terms are very important to us. So we are going to discuss a lot of details of each and every point. Okay, so let's start today's class. So the first thing we are going to discuss is transportation in plants. See, transportation is a vital process in plants. Why? Because they are living things. We know that living things need food and water for their survival, right? So like that, plants also need transportation of certain materials from leaves to the roots, roots to the leaves and different parts. Yes or no? Because we know that plants prepare their food in their food factories, that is the leaves. So leaf is preparing food. So these foods needs to be transported into different body parts of the plant, right? So there is a certain mechanism by which plants transport all this material. This is called as transportation. So we will see by which organs or by which system they are transporting. Okay, yeah. Next is, trees transport all the nutrients and water it needs for survival from its roots to the tip of the leaves. See, water and nutrients are where they are present. They are present in the soil. So which part is present in the soil? The roots. Okay, the roots penetrate down the soil, right? So the water and minerals the roots take up, the roots absorb the water and nutrients, and it will transfer to different parts of the plant. Likewise, the food is prepared on the leaves. So from the leaves it will transfer to different parts of the plant. Okay, yeah. Now it can be done in two ways. So what are the two ways? Let's see. First one is, when plants use diffusion, it means diffusion is a way. So when plants will use diffusion, see, can you see there are two types of trees here? One is a big trees, one is a small plant. So will there be any difference? Yes, because see, if we compare, a small baby will need a smaller amount of food, and a young adult will need a larger amount of food, because according to their body requirements. Like that, a small plant will have smaller requirements and a larger tree will need a lot of nutrients. Yes or no? So for this there are two different types of mechanism. First one is the diffusion. So when plants use diffusion, they have two options, right? So when they will use the diffusion, let us see. If the distance between soil contacting organ, which one is the soil contacting organ? It is the root. Okay, so if the distance between the root and chlorophyll containing organ, which is, yes, the leaf. So if the distance between the root and the leaf is very small, So the energy and the raw materials can easily diffuse to all parts of the plant body. Let me recall you that diffusion is the process of, yes, transportation of materials from higher concentration to the lower concentration. Okay, so for this diffusion process, if the distance between the root and the leaf is smaller, so it can diffuse, right? It do not need external pressure, right? So it can easily diffuse to the parts. Which part? From the root to the chlorophyll containing part, which is the leaf, correct? So when plants will use the diffusion, smaller plants will use, because the distance between the root and the leaf is very small. Clear? Yeah. Now moving to the next. See, when plants will use the vascular system. What is vascular system? It is a network like system which helps in the transportation of water and minerals, right? So let us see. Same diagram. Why? You can guess, right? So when plants will use the vascular system, if the distance between the root and the leaf is very much high, right? So the proper system of transportation is essential if the distance between soil contacting organ, which is the root, and chlorophyll containing organ is more. So if the distance is very much large, so they need a different system which will provide external pressure, that is called as a vascular system, correct? Yeah. So next is two pathways in plants. What are the two pathways? See, the vascular system is having two pathways. What are they? One is xylem, another one is phloem, right? So the xylem moves water and minerals obtained from the soil. So the xylem helps in the movement of water and minerals which is present in the soil, right? And what does the phloem do? The phloem transports products of photosynthesis. It means the food which is prepared in the leaves, yes, and leaves to the other parts of the plant. See, I have told you they need water, minerals and food, right? So food is prepared in the leaves and water and nutrients are present in the soil. So the xylem will transfer the water and minerals which is in the soil, but the phloem will transfer phloem, F, pronunciation is F, right? So phloem and food. So phloem transfers the food. Super easy, right? So you have to relate or make some tricks so that it will be easy for you to remember. So two pathways of vascular system, xylem and phloem. So xylem helps in the transportation of water and minerals from where? From the soil to different parts. And phloem will transfer the food where? From the leaves to different parts. Clear? Easy? Yes. Now moving to the next, transportation in xylem. So now tell me, what will the xylem transport? Very good. It is water and minerals. See, it takes place in two ways. So xylem is very intelligent. It will take two ways. What is that? Root pressure and transpiration. You may be wondering what is root pressure and transpiration. These processes are correlated. How? We will see. See, look at the diagram. Water absorbed by the root here. The root is absorbing water and it is moving through the different parts of the plant, and water is lost from the leaf surface by transpiration. We know that transpiration is the loss of water from the leaf surface. Why? What does it? What is its importance? Why it takes place? Let us see. Okay. So first one is transportation of water by root pressure. Okay. See, what is root pressure? The wall of cells of root hair are very thin. Okay, we have studied different parts of the plant. So the root hair are very thin, and water from the soil enters the root hairs because of osmosis. And we know that osmosis happens when if there is a difference in concentration gradient, right? If there is a difference in concentration. So when the difference in concentration takes place, let us see. So there is a continuous system of water conducting channels reaching all parts of the plant. So these channels are continuous from the roots to different parts, and at the root, cell in contact with the soil actively take up ions, right? So there is ions present in the soil, so the roots will take the ions. What will happen? This creates a difference in the concentration of these ions because of the root and the soil. So it is taking the ions, right? So there is a concentration change, difference in the concentration. So what will happen? So the water will move because the concentration is different. So water will move into the root from the soil to eliminate the difference. Okay. So the water will move from the soil to the root. Like this, the water goes into the parts of the plant. This means that there is a steady movement of water. The water will move until the concentration is same into root xylem, creating a column of water that is steadily pushed upward, because we need it to be balanced, right? So the water will move continuously to upward till the concentration is same. Understood? So what will happen? The roots will take up the ions, which will create a concentration difference. So as a result, the water will move inward and the movement of water will continue till the concentration is balanced. This creates a pressure that is called as the root pressure. Understood? Yeah. So next is transportation of water through transpiration. See, the loss of water in the form of vapor from the aerial parts of the plant is known as transpiration. So transpiration happens in the upper part of the leaf, right? So the loss of water takes place. Why? See, transpiration through stomata creates a vacuum which creates a suction. See, whenever we drink cold drinks, right, when we suck, what will happen? It creates a pressure and the juice comes upward. If I will not drink, the juice will be there. It will not create any pressure. In the same way, if the water will be lost, what will happen? The empty place needs to be filled, and this will create a suction. And this is called as the transpirational pull. The pull or the suction created by the process of transpiration is called as transpirational pull. And what will happen? And the water in the xylem will move and it will rise to greater heights as in the taller plants. So you understood how the water moves in taller plants? Yes. So first it will help in the root pressure. After that it will follow the transpiration. Understood? So what happens? The transpiration pull sucks the water column from the xylem tubes, and thus water is able to rise to great heights in even the tallest plant. So what happens? Let us revise, okay? Transportation in plants, especially of the water. What happens? The roots are there, they will take up the ions in the soil. This will create a difference in the concentration, which will allow the water to move inward through the root to the part of the plant. Okay, so this is called as the root pressure. After that, what will happen? So the water will be lost through the upper parts of the leaves, which will create a vacuum, okay, which will create a suction. What will happen? So the empty part needs to be filled with water. So as we drink cold drinks in our straw, like that, it will create a suction. So this water rises up and to fill the spaces. This creates the movement of water to greater heights. Understood the transportation of water in plants? Very much interesting, right? Yes. So now moving to the next, importance of transpiration. Why transpiration is important? See, there is tiny droplets of water. It helps in the absorption and upward movement of water. Now only we have discussed, and minerals dissolved in it from roots of the leaves. So by this, water and minerals can move to greater heights, and it also helps in temperature regulation. Okay, it helps to regulate the temperature in plants. As if we sweat to maintain our temperature, like that we can say that plants sweat, like in the process of transpiration. Clear? Yeah. Now moving to the next, transportation of food and other substance. Food, phloem, right? So the vascular tissue phloem will help in the transportation of food and other substance. So what will happen? The transport of soluble product of photosynthesis. Which is the product of photosynthesis? The food, right? Carbohydrates, yes, is called, or glucose, yes, is called translocation. So the transportation of food is called as translocation. Yes, it occurs in the part of the vascular tissue which is called as phloem. I told you, you have to remember food, for phloem. So food is transported with the help of vascular tissue which is called as phloem, right? Yes. Now, how translocation takes place? See, it occurs in phloem, right? It requires energy. It requires energy which is stored in the form of ATP, adenosine triphosphate. And the phloem transport amino acids and other substances, right? The phloem transport amino acids and other substances to different parts because the food is prepared in, yes, leaves. These substances are especially delivered to the storage organs of roots, fruits and seeds and to growing organs. It means these foods needs to be stored in the food sources, the parts which we are taking as food, as if in roots, stem, fruits and seeds. Okay. So it takes place in the sieve tubes with the help of phloem are having different parts, different types of cells. So phloem is having sieve tubes which help in the and help of adjacent companion cell. Another type of cell is joined with the phloem sieve tubes, that is called as companion cell. They help in the upward and downward direction of movement. You can see in the picture, right? From the leaf to the downward to the roots, and from the roots it is moving to the leaves or flowers. Okay. Now moving to the next, in phloem, what happens in phloem? See, material like sucrose is transported into phloem tissue using energy from ATP, because the sucrose needs to be transferred into phloem tissue using energy from ATP. And what happens? This increases the osmotic pressure of the tissue, causing water to move into it. So what will happen? This increases the osmotic pressure because there is a difference in concentration and the tissue causing water to move into it. So water will be moving into the tissue. And what will happen? This pressure moves the material. So here pressure is created, osmotic pressure, and the material from the phloem to tissue which have less pressure. So continuously the movement of water and this food product will take place. Okay. So this allows the phloem to move materials according to the plant's need. So when the plants will need them to store in the roots, it will move to the roots. When the plants need it to be stored in the leaves, it will move to the leaves. Okay. So according to the plant's need, the phloem can regulate the movement of food transport. Understood? As you can see in the picture. See, sugar are produced by the photosynthesis. They are moving downward. Okay. And what will happen? Here water and minerals are moving to the upward. Understood? Yes. So my dear kids, see, CO2 O2 exchange through stomata. Stomata is helping the gaseous exchange. Light energy, plant is using photosynthesis process and making sugars. And sugars are produced by the photosynthesis. They need to move to different parts of the body through the branch to the stem and to the roots. Roots take in O2 and CO2 and sugar are transported by phloem sap. Okay. And the liquid, the water and minerals are transported by the xylem. And they are pulled up due to transpirational pull and they move to the upper parts. Understood? Yes. So this is the recap of our whole lesson. Let us recall. So the transportation of water takes place by xylem. Yes, and the transportation of food takes place with the help of phloem. Okay. So this is the end of our lesson. This part of the lesson which is transportation in plants. After that another part is there, that is excretion. Right, we will be discussing in the later part. So just recall the lesson, just revise the lesson. It is a very big lesson, having different types of concepts, so together it will be a huge lesson. It will be a burden for you. So part wise just revise and let me know if there is any doubt. I hope that it will be very much clear to you. After that also, if you are having any doubt, you can ask me. Okay. So my dear kids, now the most awaited part is the course part. See, to plant a garden is to believe in tomorrow. It means, see, whenever we plant a garden or whenever we start planting a single tree or single sapling, do you know what will happen tomorrow? But we have a belief that yes, this seed or this plant will grow one day and it will become a big tree and it will give us fruit. Right? Yes. So it means that we believe in tomorrow. Right? So never lose your hope. Work harder. Today if you work hard, your future will be bright. So here we are for your better future. We are also working very hard and we want you to work with us and be with us. So my dear kids, don't forget to be a part of our eTuition family. With this, I would like to thank you and thank you. Stay safe.